Welcome back to End Times Prophecy News for the 2 o'clock report. Well, it's just been confirmed by the White House Budget Director, folks. White House Budget Director Mick Mulvaney has confirmed that the President Trump will sign a funding bill without money to pay for the wall. CNN reports, with a potential government shutdown set for Friday at midnight, White House Budget Director Mick Mulvaney confirmed on Tuesday that President Donald Trump would in fact sign a funding bill that did not provide money to build his border wall. So where's the money going to come from? It's all a plan to make sure that the government doesn't get shut down, but at the same time, we're going to move on with the wall. The offer that we received from the Democrats the last couple days include a good bit of money for border security, Mulvaney said on CNN's The Lead with Jake Tapper. When Tapper asked if Trump would sign the bill even without funding for a border wall, a clear administration priority in early talks, Mulvaney said, yeah. He added that the border security money in the bill would allow Trump to follow through on his promise to make that border more secure. However, he said the administration was not backing down from its demand for border wall funding. We just thought it would be a good first step to get these things that everybody agrees on and take that idea of a government shutdown off the table, Mulvaney said. The discussion for what to do in fiscal year 2018, which starts October 1st, starts as soon as this bill is signed, he added. But despite the White House tabling the border wall money request on this bill, Mulvaney said avoiding a government shutdown was not yet a sure thing. He said that they had yet to get a response after they told Democrats they would accept a bill without wall funding. We've not heard anything from them today, Mulvaney said. We thought we had a deal as of yesterday. Trump to meet with Australia Prime Minister in an epic venue. President Trump will be meeting with Australian Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull aboard a historic aircraft carrier. Washington Examiner reports President Trump and Australian Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull will sit down in New York City next week for their first in-person meeting since the two unexpectedly butt heads during a phone call in January. Trump and Turnbull will be in Manhattan May 4th to commemorate the 75th anniversary of World War II's Battle of the Coral Sea, in which the U.S. joined Australian forces to fight Japan in the Pacific. Following the ceremony on the USS Intrepid, an aircraft carrier that survived 5 kamikaze attacks and 1 torpedo strike during World War II, the two leaders will hold a meeting at the museum. The president looks forward to meeting the prime minister and to strengthen the enduring bonds, deep friendship, and close alliance between the United States and Australia, the White House said in a statement Tuesday evening. Even though Turnbull is a global elite and is bringing much radical Islamic jihadis into his country, they are still an ally with the United States. And I don't believe we've ever gone to war with Australia either. The foreign minister just threatened to withdraw. Venezuela's foreign minister threatens to withdraw from the Organization of American States. Well, that makes sense because he can't stand Donald Trump. And he's very, very corrupt, destroying his people. And Russia threatens UK with being wiped off the face of the earth. Wow. Here we go. A Russian Federation Defense Committee head has stated that the UK could be wiped off the face of the earth. Are they mimicking Iran? What's going on with you, Putin? In the most extreme circumstances cited by the UK regarding use of nuclear weapons. What's the matter, Putin? You don't like the fact that the UK has left the Union? From Zero Hedge, it would appear that British Defence Minister Michael Fallon's comments that the UK could launch a preemptive nuclear strike in the most extreme circumstances was not an implicit threat that the deputy head of the Russian Federation Council's Committee for Defense and Security took lightly. In a terse Facebook posted response, Franz Klintsevich raged, I think that the statement by the Minister of Defense of Britain's Michael Fallon deserves a harsh response, and I'm not afraid to push him over the edge. At best, this statement should be seen as a certain element of psychological warfare, which looks especially revolting in this context. There is a quite natural question then: what country could be primitively targeted by the UK? If against nuclear war, the United Kingdom, which doesn't have the greatest of territories, will literally be erased from the face of the earth with a retaliatory strike. But if it is targeting a non-nuclear power, this will remind of the U.S. nuclear attack on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. But that time has long passed, as has the time of the former greatness of the British Empire. As RT reports, Klintsevich comments comes after Fallen on Monday said that the UK is prepared to carry out a preemptive nuclear strike against any enemies, even if Britain is not under attack. In the most extreme circumstances, we have made it very clear that you can't rule out the use of nuclear weapons as a first strike, Fallen said on BBC's Today program. However, not specifying what most extreme circumstances imply. The whole point about the deterrent is that you have got to leave uncertainty in the mind of anyone who might be thinking of using weapons against this country. And Trump tweets about court rulings, and it's huge. President Trump has hit out against the Ninth Circuit Court ruling against sanctuary city funding. First, the Ninth Circuit Court rules against the ban, and now it hits again on sanctuary cities, both ridiculous rulings. See you in the Supreme Court, and we will win. Oh, yeah. Out of our very big country with many choices, does everyone notice that both the ban case and now the sanctuary case is brought in? The Ninth Circuit Court, which has a terrible record of being overturned, close to 80%. Well, that was with, anyway, they used to call this judge shopping, messy system. Yes, Donald, we know you're going to win. It's all going to be overturned. Long process of battling these devils and who possess these global elites. But Cyrus will prevail as he subdues nations and opens the gates. Let's see. We left off here in chapter 4, verse 1 we're in now. When therefore the Lord knew how the Pharisees had heard that Jesus made and baptized more disciples than John, though Jesus himself baptized not, but his disciples. See that? Again, Jesus baptized not, but he was doing it by the Holy Ghost. He left Judea and departed again into Galilee. This is the spiritual versus the earthly thing. The earthly is baptized by water. The spiritual baptize you by the Holy Ghost and fire, as it says in Matthew 3:11. He left Judea and departed again into Galilee, and he must needs go through Samaria. Then cometh he to a city of Samaria, which is called Sychar, near to the parcel of ground that Jacob gave to his son Joseph. Now Jacob's well was there. Jesus, therefore, being wearied with his journey, sat thus on the well. And it was about the 6th hour. There cometh a woman of Samaria to draw water. Jesus said unto her, Give me to drink. For his disciples were gone away unto the city to buy meat. Then saith the woman of Samaria unto him, How is it that thou, being a Jew, askest drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria? For the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans. Jesus answered and said unto her, If thou knewest the gift of God, which is salvation, and who it is that saith to thee, the Messiah, Give me to drink, thou wouldest have asked of him, and he would have given thee living water. The woman saith unto him, Sir, thou hast nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. From whence then hast thou that living water? Art thou greater than our father Jacob, which gave us the well, and drank thereof himself, and his children, and his cattle? And Jesus answered and said unto her, Whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again. But whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst. But the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life. The woman saith unto him, Sir, give me this water, that I thirst not, neither come hither to draw. Jesus saith unto her, Go call thy husband, and come hither. The woman answered and said, I have no husband. Jesus said unto her, Thou hast well said, I have no husband, for thou hast had 5 husbands, and he whom thou now hast is now not thy husband, and that sayest thou truly. The woman saith unto her, Sir, I perceive that thou art a prophet. Our fathers worship in this mountain, and ye say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship. Jesus saith unto her, Woman, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. Ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. Jesus is a Jew. The church was started by the Jews. The children of Israel are the Jews. The children of Israel were his elect, saved in the Old Testament. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshippers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and truth. The woman saith unto him, I know that Messiah cometh, which is called Christ. When he is come, he will tell us all things. Jesus saith unto her, I that speak unto thee am he. And upon this came his disciples, and marveled that he talked with the woman. Yet no man said, What seekest thou? Or why talkest thou with her? The woman then left her water pot, went her way into the city, and said to the men, Come see a man which told me all things that ever I did. Is not this the Christ? Then they went out of the city and came unto him. In the meanwhile, his disciples prayed him, saying, Master, eat. I'll leave you there. Obviously, the Samaritan woman was saved, wasn't she? Thank you for listening, and God bless.
If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves, and pray, and seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven, and will forgive their sin,